All right, so there have been a lot of questions about what's called the belt line issue, what some of the manufacturers, repair facilities will call the belt line issue. So essentially, this under this molding right here is where this wall is attached to the frame from the outside. So if you, this is a piece on ours, this is aluminum molding. You take off the end cap. You don't need to take off this one. You gently peel under the, in this case it's silicone, and then this is a piece of aluminum molding. You get a piece of a screwdriver in here and gently peel it out. It clips into a metal track that is bolted onto the wall. And then, so under here there are 2-inch screws. I put in 3-inch when I fixed it, but I was told at the Thorpe repair facility that they're 2-inch screws, and they go through the metal track into the actual, through the wall into the F53 frame. Now this wall is about 1 inch thick, which means you only got about 1 inch of screw into the frame. I didn't think that was enough, but when I took it there to have my issue fixed, because this whole wall had dropped down, all of this right here had dropped about 1 inch or 2, and it had dropped after I bought it. I could tell because I could no longer crawl under the front when I was trying to do things underneath the engine and whatnot. I had to go over there under the stair kind of area because this had dropped so far. So what they did to fix it is they took all of this off, and all of this under here, that whole black line, that's also the belt line. So the entire wall is secured all the way down on that. They also took off this molding here, which in our case has a another track that secures it on, but on the newer ones, I was told by the gentleman who fixed it that these are just basically put on with caulk, just piece of plastic. And they had to take off that little round piece up there because the entire front cap is secured to the walls and whatnot. So in order to raise the wall, they had to kind of disconnect the cap, the front fiberglass cap, from the wall and lift the whole thing. They jack it up and they screw it back in. Now I'll show you on the inside, and I got the dogs in here, so we got to be careful. All right. I better let the little ones out before they keep barking. I'll fix you in a minute, Stelly. All right, so on the floor, now I got a lot of stuff. I'm dropping off some stuff to a friend. On the floor down here, there's a little piece of rubber right here. And that piece of rubber runs all the way to the front, and then it runs back towards the door. If you take off that piece of rubber, underneath is an L bracket, an aluminum L bracket. The L bracket is held on to the floor with basically some hex bolts, just the same kind of, Stelly, you got a picture? Same kind of thing that you would use for construction. So they take hex bolts and they bolt it in 4 places to the floor, and then they also use, in this case, the same type of bolts to bolt that piece of aluminum angle to the wall. So in our case, we could tell this piece of dash right there had sunk down to about here. It dropped about 1 inch, and on the other side it's fine. And we knew that there was a problem as we were going down the road. That dashboard would be, this dashboard right here would be bouncing up and down, and it would make a horrible sound. You'd hit a bump and the whole dashboard would shake. This window would shake. And as a matter of fact, when I tried to fix this before I took it to the Thor facility, this piece of rubber ended up climbing up way high on the window here. So it would make a horrible sound going down the road. My wife was scared that everything was going to break. So that's what they call the belt line issue, and that is what happens when your wall is pulling away from your frame and dropping. So you've got a major problem there. The other thing that happened, and another way you can tell, is at the door here. So this I actually kind of put some Flex Seal on, but right here in the corner, I could actually see daylight when I had that issue. So it had obviously pulled away about a ½ an inch from the wall, originally pulled away ½ an inch from the floor. And that's pretty much how I definitely knew that there was something wrong. So like I said, I took it to the Thor repair facility. They took 3 days. They didn't even take 3 days. Honestly, the guy had it done in a couple hours. It took a couple days for the warranty person with Good Sam's warranty we have. They had to come out and actually validate that this was a legitimate repair issue. And once that happened, they were able to fix things up. Have not had a problem since. It drives like a dream now, and hopefully it stays that way. But if you're going down the road and you hear horrible clunking, sounds like it's coming from the passenger side, you can't figure out what it is. It's possibly that your wall is pulling away from your frame. And apparently it's a common Thor problem, especially during COVID. One of the big reasons is that the screws that they put into the sidewall from the outside snap. They're too small in the first place, and apparently they weren't strong enough. They should be at least grade 5, probably grade 8. I don't know what they use, but mine were snapped in half just due to the tremendous weight. So yeah, definitely call Thor or whoever your manufacturer is and tell them, I think maybe I have this problem. Maybe they can walk you through it and let you know if that's what's going on. All right, thanks.